For nearly 3 decades, God has been writing a story of faith, a story of sacrifice, a story of ordinary people trusting an extraordinary God.
So in December of 2020, I lost my mother unexpectedly at the age of 47. The spring of 2022, I lost an uncle that was like a second dad to me. I can tell you what it's like to be at the bottom of a barrel and wonder how you're going to get out of it. The one thing I can tell you is when Preacher Tuck tells you to take the first step and God will meet you right there, I'm kind of living proof of that, because he showed me something that I didn't know that I had, and it's this church family. And I can tell you this church family has been there for me the most when I need it.
In 1997, a handful of people stepped out in faith. They couldn't see where God was leading. They couldn't imagine every life that would be changed, every family that would find hope. They couldn't see every child that would learn about Jesus, every person that would come to know him. But one thing was true: God wasn't done yet. Through every season, every challenge, every victory, God kept writing the story. Churches changed, buildings changed, even people changed. But God's faithfulness never changed. And every time it appeared that one chapter had ended, God wasn't done yet. 2 years ago, God opened a new chapter, a new home, a fresh vision. He opened new opportunities to reach our community. Over these past 2 years, we have celebrated salvations, we have celebrated baptisms, and welcomed new families. We've watched children grow and students surrender their lives to Christ, and we have seen lives transformed. And now, as we celebrate today, the sound of construction echoes through these halls, not because we're simply adding onto a building, but because we're making room for the people that God is still bringing. The Children's Wing isn't just another project, it's another step of faith, another reminder that we believe the next generation matters, another declaration that our mission is far from finished, because there are still people to reach, there are still families searching for hope, there are still children who need to hear the name of Jesus, and that lives are waiting to be changed. Looking back over nearly 30 years, every chapter tells the same story. When people stepped out in faith, God wasn't done yet.
How I've seen God work in my life is He has rescued me and shown up for me. So back in 2021, I was a Satanist, and when things were really, really bad and at the darkest, lowest point in my life, things got very scary, and I called out to God and asked Him to rescue me and told Him, do not leave me here. And He pulled me out of that pit and has been faithful to me, even though I wasn't always faithful to Him.
So God has worked in my life a lot the last week or so, but most recently it's been with our youngest son, Remy, going to Philadelphia for his treatment. We were worried about recovery, and that was our biggest prayer, was that recovery go speedily, and then also worried about our boys back home. And God hit both of those in one moment for us, which was at VBS. Both of our kids prayed for Remy. They wrote it out. They let the world see it and know that they wanted Remy to recover. And me and Nikki were holding Remy. He wasn't moving, he wasn't playing, he was just there. And then, as we later found out through phone calls with Jason, the same time our boys put their prayers up on the wall was the same time Remy stopped getting sick, jumped up, started running, playing with toys, doing all the things. And all I could chalk it up to was God put His hand on that moment and let all of us know that He was with us. And it was a great feeling to be able to share that with my sons, because I called them immediately and told them, hey, your prayers worked. Your prayers were answered. Here's it, and showed them. And honestly, it gave me and Nikki the boost we needed to know that we're not alone. He's here. He's got His hand on us.
God has been moving in my life by helping me control my thoughts, the way I think about myself and the way I think about others. and just helping me better understand what unconditional love is.
I have really seen God show up in my life and in my family's life. Really when we made a big life decision. So shortly after Keenan was born, we knew something needed to change. Like we just felt a shift. My husband, Ethan, really led us through that change. And we just felt a calling that we needed more. We didn't know exactly what that meant or what that looked like. Our situation at the time, we were driving about 30 minutes to a church. And so it was just really hard to get connected outside of just showing up on Sundays. And I think that's what we were really craving, especially becoming new parents and just navigating life in general. First, shout out to Isaac and Lexi, because my husband Ethan was saying, have this friend Isaac from the gym, and I really think that we should just ask them about their church and what that looks like. And so Isaac and Lexi actually came to our house, had dinner with us, answered countless questions as we were just trying to navigate that season. It was so amazing, just like simultaneously after that, how God kept showing up. And it was just very clear that this was a way for us to get connected and what we were really craving. Because around the same time, I started at the gym. So a shout out to Amber and Stu for just getting us connected there and sharing their story about, what life and faith looked like for them before coming to New Hope. And I could relate a lot to their story. And so I was very thankful for just their openness and willingness just to share that with us. Actually showing up to church, Jordan and Kaylee on the first day were like, hey, come sit with us. And then literally every Sunday after that, we just find wherever they're at and sit with them. And so just a little fun thing that we always is getting to sit with them. And then it really just started to propel from there of how God has continued to show up. Kaylee started a small group, which has been incredible for me to just get connected to new moms and just get to learn from them and grow with them. And so then Ethan was able to get connected, small group as well, which has been really good for him. And just doing life with people outside of the walls of this building. This building is great and allows us to meet on Sundays and worship together, but it's so much bigger than that. We knew we were missing that, quite frankly. We're just so thankful for our community here, because it's not just on Sundays, it's going to the grocery store, going to the gym, going to the coffee shop. We're constantly running into people that we can just do life with. We are so thankful for that support.
Our greatest days aren't behind us, they're still ahead of us, because the God who wasn't done then is not done yet.